Shalom everyone, I'm Uncle Moshe. Next comes Taped with Rabbi Doug.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight. But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're going to watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug.
Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're going to see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom and welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. Glad you could be with us today. We are here once again for our second visit to the radio studios of the Jewish Wake Up Call. And right here is the host of the Jewish Wake Up Call. This is Mr. Jeff Osias. Jeff, welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug once again.
Thank you, Rabbi. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. I keep forgetting I have to look at the camera. I'm kind of like walking around a little nutty over here. But, you know, we have a reason for what we call the Jewish Wake Up Call. You know, on every corner of Chicago, pretty much every corner there's a stop sign. And, you know, if you choose to stop at the stop sign or not to stop at the stop sign, you can drive through it. And if you drive through it, well, if somebody's crossing the street, you can run over them. Or you can hit another car coming the other way. Or there can be a funny guy with one of these police cars, they call them, and the guy gave you a ticket to the policeman's ball. Or you can stop at that stop sign. Well, we compare that to the Torah here at the Jewish Wake Up Call. And what does that mean? That we choose to stop at the stop sign. Therefore, what we're saying is that we choose to honor what the Torah tells us to do as best as we can. We're not allowed. Well, I'm not perfect. You perfect?
I'm not perfect.
Ken, you perfect?
Not since the last time I checked, no.
All right, so you know what?
My mom thinks I'm perfect, though.
Oh, well, that's a different story. That's a different story. I picked up something over here, and it says, when God created the world and wished to reveal that which was concealed in the depths and to disclose the light out in the darkness, they were all merged with one another, and therefore did light emerge from darkness, and also did profound come forth from mystery. And then it has a little other thing here that jumped down to another paragraph. This is nothing of the other side. There is nothing of the other side which does not also have a spark of divine light in it. And things cleave to one another, the pure and the impure. There is no purity except through impurity. Well, I didn't make that up because I'm not that smart. I know that the reason we are here is we have a vast audience, and we are all over the world.
I want to ask you about that, but before I do, because this is real important, I want to introduce our friend and talented entertainer, Ken Bernstein. Ken, welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug, and welcome once again here on the Jewish Wake Up Call. You've been playing music for a long time, and Jewish music is a forte of yours. But there's something very unusual about you compared to most guitar players. As you are the side of Paul McCartney. You are a left-handed guitar player.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's same with Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, and Jimi Hendrix also. And you are one of those southpaws that actually reverse the guitar to keep the low notes on top, as a right-handed person does, rather than playing it upside down as some people do.
Well, the blues players play it upside down because they're mostly lead players, so they play like lead guitar. But for me, it's like I need to do chords and rhythm, and I've been working on a new way of playing Jewish music too, which is like flamenco guitar. You know, for all the Sephardic Jews play that style, and so I need the bass strings on the top so I can hit the bass with my thumb and get the sweet treble sound, you know, on the top.
It's wonderful. I want you to know, if you look back at some of our archive shows at tvrabbi.com, where they are all, and also broadcast on YouTube, you will find that I have a lot of southpaws that actually play the blues with the guitar this way, and I have a lot of acoustic players who actually play it upside down without doing that. So it's an amazing, it's an amazing thing when you see one of those. But I want to come back to something that Jeff said, because this is real important. The spark is on the other side. The spark is on the other side, and we have to look at every side of things and realize that there's a divine presence on both sides, whether it looks good to us or looks bad to us, whether it's a positive or a negative. The spark is on every side, and it's a great statement that you made. And you know, what you do here with the Jewish Wake Up Call is bring kind of cable radio to everyone around the world who's able and knows about it to tune in. It's a wonderful thing, just like we use the internet ourselves on YouTube and on TVRabbi.com to broadcast our show, which is on TV in the Midwest, but outside of the Midwest, if you're not in the Chicago area, if you're not in Illinois, you just have to tune in on the internet, and you can still catch those same words and those same messages and those same great entertainers. And if we could at this time, I would love to introduce Ken Bernstein and have him do some music for us. Ladies and gentlemen, right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug, and right here at the Jewish Wake Up Call, Ken Bernstein.
Oh, thank you. It's a nice way to start the show.
Absolutely, and I want to tell you, I want to tell our audience as well that I have been trying to get together with Ken for a number of years, probably for about maybe 3 or 4 years now, to say, let's do a show and have you as my guest on the show. And it took Jeff Osias and the Jewish Wake Up Call to say, Ken is coming. Rabbi Doug, come here and be on the radio with us, and let's be on TV together and have Ken on the show. So we're thrilled to have you, and I'm thrilled to be here with radio host extraordinaire Jeff Osias on the Jewish Wake Up Call.
Thank you, Rabbi. This is a treat, and when I'm going to make my. He has such a great booming voice, and I don't have those lungs that he has, so I have to move the mic up a little bit so our audience out in Radio Land can hear us. So this is, well, I had this, you know how something comes into your head, and how we met was, we were at a concert, and there was somebody else at the concert, and and the guy said to me, I said, I'd like to have you on my show. He says, I'd like you to meet somebody. I says, okay, and we stepped away from the concert for a while. And I want you to meet this guy. And there was just something about Ken that just jumped out. I hadn't heard him play yet. Didn't know who he was. And I said to him, Ken, how'd you like to be on my show? And he said, sure, I'll come on. And we figured we'd take a one-shot deal.
Yeah, yeah.
We never thought it would turn out to be a mainstay in our show. And you, Rabbi Doug, who, you're one of those guys that's an amazing, amazing rabbi because you can't find them like this. You just can't find a Rabbi Doug who fits amongst whatever and whoever. Anybody who's on the top of the scale and somebody who's got problems, whatever, Rabbi Doug is there.
You know, I think a secret to Judaism, to Orthodoxy, to religiosity is something that people don't always understand is, you know, Achdus, Havas Yisrael, these two phrases, Achdus meaning unity among ourselves, and Havas Yisrael, love among our fellow Jews, is something that is missing sometimes in circles of religiosity. Whereas people will often say, oh, you know, he's not really very religious because he associates with those people, or he's not this because he
doesn't dress the right way.
Doesn't dress the way that we do. Exactly, you're right on target. And I have a different philosophy. My philosophy is, you know, if I can accept everyone for who they are and say, you know what, I'm no better than they are, I'm just different. And I can teach them something or inspire them in some way, then I've fulfilled my duty in this world. And this is really what we are all striving for in life. We're striving to make this world a better place when we leave it, that we've left it a better place. And that's why I'm a little bit different than other people. And some people might say, well, he's a little bit different than us, or he's not with us. But I say, you know, this is where Orthodoxy has to be to really survive in society today, because we have to realize we're not the only ones here.
You know, Rabbi Doug, you've been an inspiration for a lot of us, and you continue. And every time I think there's no place else you can go, you pop up, and it's an amazing thing. You were an example to me because when I was in broadcasting, when I was a young lad, and if people weren't talking about me in one way or another, I say I wasn't doing my job properly. But I never knew that was going to follow me through. I was a substitute teacher for a while, and
we taught together.
And I somehow got tossed out of there, and then I became a special ed teacher, and the kids loved me, and they learned, and I have one student in particular who was in the 8th grade, and he was one of what they called the bully, and people were against him and all that stuff. And I had him in my class with about 5 other students in my special. I don't know, they call it Title I, it wasn't special. And he decided resource room, and he loved it there. And it came the whole year, and all of a sudden I found out why he was a bully. He couldn't fit into class. He hadn't learned anything since the 3rd grade, man. I had no idea. When I discovered this, I had the rest of the class, and I took them under a conference. I said, how about if we slow down, and we go back and review until this guy meets us, and then we can go ahead. They said, fine, Rabbi. They called me Rabbi. I said, whatever, you know, I got a street commission. So this young man came the last when he had his final. Came in with tears in his eyes. Rabbi, I got a 92 in my exam. When did I get more than a 30? In my whole time in this school. He's in yeshiva now, doing fantastically well. So, you know what? There's room for
There sure is. There sure is. I want to mention, you know, speaking of yeshiva, you know, you have a number of children. You know, our daughters are certainly very, very close friends. But I want to mention that especially your son Zevi, who was with us last time we were on there singing for us, is being successful away at Yeshiva this year, and I'm so proud of him to see him doing so well, and all your children doing so well. But Zevi, who our audience knows from his beautiful voice, has not only improved his educational values and working so well, but his voice has become better and his singing abilities become better. He's really quite a remarkable young man, and we miss him because he's not here to sing. But we have Ken with us today to sing, and Ken's going to sing another song for us here. Ladies and gentlemen, right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug and on the Jewish Wake Up Call, once again, Ken Bernstein.
Hashem, oh, say Shemayim Varetz, Mezri Mehim Hashem, oh, say Shemayim Varetz. I lift up my eyes unto the mountains, and from where will my help come? Oh, I lift up my eyes unto the mountains, and from where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and the earth. My help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and the earth. Mehezri Mehim Hashem, oh, say Shemayim Varetz. And you'd ask Rabbi Doug, you know, Jeff, why did I pick this tune? That's because of what you guys were talking about. I mean, you know, about all the things you've done, and really that's what both your shows really try to do. Is that, you know, I lift up my eyes. So it's about, you know, lifting up, helping people really see the glory of Hashem, you know, through the shows that you both do. You know, because it's not just like, you know, reality TV. I mean, there's an intention with the new Jewish Wake Up Call, Taped with Rabbi Doug. And what it's about is about renewing Judaism. And that's what you were saying. It's about making Judaism here and alive in the present moment. So it's not just some, you know, writings that have happened centuries ago, but it's something new and alive. And it's a living, breathing tradition that we see ourselves as part of that tradition here today in the present moment. And it's great that you both are putting that out there.
Well, that's beautiful. I wanna tell you, you know, Psalm 121, as you're singing from, has a lot of meaning. And I think the other thing that you didn't say but you touched on beautifully is that it doesn't matter who we inspire as long as we inspire someone along the way. You know, somebody might be inspired by a quote from a Jewish source. Another person might be inspired by the recitation of a psalm, and another person might be inspired by beautiful music. And it doesn't matter how we inspire them, as long as we've left someone along the way inspired. Whether it's an author who is talking about a book they wrote and it finds some way to touch someone because I knew about that, or that meant a lot to me, or whether it's a singer who sang a song that he wrote that had nothing to do with Judaism, but it touched someone's soul. And that's really exactly, you hit it right on the head there, Ken. And that's a lot of times what the Jewish Wake Up Call is doing here in Radio Land and over the internet. The people who are listening to this show, and some I believe are seeing it off the webcam as well, are having the opportunity to broaden their horizons, not only in meeting new people on the Jewish Wake Up Call, and so many interesting people, because there have been so many interesting people that Jeff has had on his show, but they're also having the opportunity to get a taste of Jewish Chicago, which they wouldn't have the opportunity from all over the world. And that's also, you know, when I go on location, my show that aired this past week was done in Los Angeles. And I have a guy on named Ken Green. Ken Green is a lawyer who lives in Los Angeles, but he wrote a book, and it's called I'm From Division Street. He grew up on the near north side of Chicago when the near north side of Chicago, the Hummel Park area, was full of Jewish people and synagogues, you know, every block in that area, and a lot of Jewish life. And he grew up there, and I'm telling you, he has touched so many people with that book, living in Los Angeles, that I went to Los Angeles to meet with him and talk to him about it. And now, just by chance, he's in Chicago lecturing about the book here in his hometown where he grew up. So you just never know who you're going to touch with what. And it's kind of brought him back, I think, a little closer to his Jewish roots, as he has met so many people that grew up in the Jewish community on the near north side of Chicago, the Californian Division area. So it's really, you just never know who you're going to touch. And here's a guy who touches a lot of people's lives with the new Jewish Wake Up Call. Here he is once again, Jeff Osias.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. This is, you know, this is bringing it to a whole new level tonight. You know why? Because, you want me to talk up a little bit louder? Okay, let me push my mic up a little bit here. This way I can do that. Okay, and looking into it. I'm not used to this, Rabbi. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, when we do realize all the neshumas that, you know, we worry about, you know, oh, we got to worry about our kid, that we can't watch out for them because we have to send them someplace else because maybe we can't get a shidduch for one of our other kids. And that kid gets thrown on the side. And we see that so often, and it hurts. We forget, because, I don't know, people don't remember that expression, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's what we're doing sometimes. We have a student who can't learn the way everybody else does in class. And so he's a bad student, and they throw him out. Well, the Alter Rebbe made a great statement. He said there's no such thing as a bad student, but there's a lot of bad Rebbes. And what do you mean by that? He doesn't mean they're bad people. He says they don't strive to find out how that student can learn. Because each student has a different way of learning. Ken learned a different way of music than a lot of people. I learned mine. I was very badly dyslexic. And I used to have to mix shows when I was younger. And I'd memorize the whole script of where the sound effects went. You couldn't sidetrack me because I'd get lost. But I did it. I found my way of working with my defect. And I have another son-in-law. We were talking about Zevi being so great. He's in Scranton. And he gets up at 7:30 in the morning, and he learns until 7:30, until 11, 12 o'clock at night. And he says, Tati, this is amazing. You don't have to learn here. But we want to. We want to learn here. And he says, guess what? I just found another Havarusa, somebody to learn with. And my other son is
Mati, who is also my student, whom we adore as well.
Right, but he is a different type of student. And he couldn't fit in the cookie cutter. We finally went through 4 different yeshivas. Baruch Hashem, he found a Rebbe in Brooklyn on the basketball court.
We're so happy for him.
And he learns, and they have a regular basketball team. He's going to get his high school diploma. And so Perfect fits, custom made.
You know, it's a wonderful thing as Mutty is such a talented athlete, and it's so wonderful that Mutty in his learning found someone who admired his athletics as much as he admired his mind and his learning abilities, which just inspired him so much to be successful in his learning as well. And really, that's what we have to look for. We have to look for something that is going to bring inspiration to us, to help us want to succeed in things that sometimes we wouldn't have the ability to do so otherwise with. Here's a guy standing next to me here who is a very talented musician, and we want to get to know you a little bit more, Ken Bernstein. Tell us a little bit, where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in the Chicago area, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
Well, I went to high school, actually, it was interesting. I grew up in Chicago on Michigan by the IIT campus, and I went to high school, actually, in a place called Hinsdale, which was, you know, a very un-Jewish neighborhood.
Is that Hinsdale South High School?
Hinsdale Central, actually.
Hinsdale Central.
Yeah, Hinsdale Central High School, which is very, 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 you know,
something after that.
You know, yeah, not St. Hinsdale. There's two. There's Central and South, actually.
Right.
So South is in Burr Ridge, but I went to Central, and been playing music since I was 12 years old, actually. And yeah, I've loved guitar. Was like, you know, I just loved the sound of the guitar. It was really special to me, and it was really funny because years ago when I first started playing guitar, I started playing Jewish music because, you know, my parents really, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't have records and tapes. And the Rolling Stones were kind of hard to figure out, but I used to play a couple of chords, you know, A minor, D minor, E7, A minor, and I got a book from the shul that I went to for my bar mitzvah.
What shul was that?
That was, I think, Etz Chaim in Lombard.
In Lombard.
Yeah, in Lombard.
Rabbi Bob.
Yes. And so I borrowed a book from the library and it had Jewish songs.
Steve Bob, right?
I think so. I'm not sure.
He's the rabbi there, and he actually was the rabbi here in West Rogers Park. He was the assistant rabbi at Temple Beth El on Tui Avenue with Rabbi Victor Weisberg, and of course Bethel moved to Northbrook, and that synagogue now is Congregation Adas Yeshurun across from the JCC in West Rogers Park.
But yeah, so it's like one of the first tunes that one of the first tunes I learned, you know, in this book was "Go Down Moses." You know this one?
Well, let's hear it.
I was like 12 years old, you know.
When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, they way down in Egypt's land. Hello, Pharaoh, let my people go. No more in bondage they shall toil, let my people go. Let them come out with Egypt's spoil, let my people go. Go down in Baal, way down in Egypt's land. Tell the Lord, Pharaoh, let my people go. A cloud before shall cleave the way, let my people go. And fire by night and shake by day, let my people go. Go down on Moshe, way down in Egypt's land. Tell the Lord, Pharaoh, let my people go.
Our time is up here on TV, and I want to thank Jeff Osias here on the Jewish Wake Up Call. I want to thank you, Ken Bernstein, for being with us as you'll end us up with a little more music. And remember our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can also watch our shows on the web, and hope that you can also be with us every week. And if you want to email us, info@tvrabbi.com. Once again, thank you, Jeff Osias. Ken Bernstein, close us up with some more music. And we hope to see you next time right here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone.
Great. And thanks, Rabbi Doug. We're changing the pace just a little bit since you like the Psalms. I wrote a tune, Psalm 115.
lanu Hashem, lo lanu kilishimha, ten kavod al hasdecha, v'yamitecha. Aromimka Elohai Amelech, B'kol yom, B'kol yom, B'kol yom, B'kol yom. Aromimka Elohai Amelech, B'kol yom, B'kol yom, B'kol yom, B'kol yom. Lo lanu Hashem, lo lanu kilishima, tekavod al hasdecha, v'yamitecha. Aromimka Elohai Amelech, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom. Aromimka Elohai Amelech, b'kol yom. Aromimka Elohai Amelech, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom. Aromimka Elohai Hamelech, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom, b'kol yom.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.